Live at 5, Wisconsin's governor says he wants another 4 years in office, adding there's more work to be done. Plus,
how new legislation could change the craft brewing industry in Minnesota.
And big news in the medical world as government health officials have approved the first drug they say might help slow Alzheimer's disease. And later,
Sunrise paddleboard tours connecting tourists to the Northland.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Thank you, land defenders. We are all land defenders today.
that sound from what's being dubbed the largest protest against Enbridge's Line 3 pipeline project. Environmental and tribal groups are gathering for one last push to stop construction from continuing, and opponents say they will do whatever it takes to block completion, including risk being arrested. We'll have more from the protest in just a few minutes. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke. We begin tonight on the topic of beer. Today, Minnesota craft breweries are rallying together to reform the state's liquor laws they say are impacting business. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with local representatives who are trying to push this legislation to help these businesses. Emma, what did they have to say?
Kristen, House Representative Liz Olson co-wrote the Drink Local Economic Recovery Package in an effort to support the Minnesota craft brewing industry. She says it would give them more options for how and when they can sell their products. The bill has bipartisan support, and legislators say it would help Minnesota liquor stores, bars, and restaurants by letting them fill growlers to go. Restaurants would be able to sell cocktails to go. The bill lifts limits on growler sales at craft breweries while letting distilleries sell full-sized bottles. Representative Liz Olson spoke at a rally this morning outside the state capitol and said this issue is impacting all areas of Minnesota.
If you look at the bill authors, there are 22 bill authors in the House. There is no rhyme or reason. It is rural districts, it is urban districts, it is very progressive legislators, it is very conservative legislators.
Cideries and brew pubs would also be able to distribute their product. Republican Representative Jim Nash from Waconia also supports the bill and spoke at the rally. And Kristen, lawmakers say they think the bill could still pass in the 2021 special session.
All right, thanks, Emma. And coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from local brewery owners in Duluth on their thoughts. Well, here's a live look tonight over the city of Duluth, where in just a few hours, a city council meeting will be underway. Duluth city trails and shore erosion control are some big-ticket items on tonight's agenda. The council is expected to clarify its priorities when it comes to upcoming trail projects. A resolution explains the city is prioritizing restoration and repairs on the scenic Duluth, Winnipeg, and Pacific Railroad Corridor Trail. Duluth's Cross City Trail is also undergoing a project. The trail system connects the Lake Walk to the Munger Trail. It will be designed to become a multi-purpose, wheelchair-accessible area. The council will also discuss an ordinance that would give shoreline property owners an easement, allowing for them to double down on erosion control. During tonight's Committee of the Whole meeting, the council will also discuss how to distribute $60 million in federal COVID relief money. That meeting starts at 5:15. The regular council meeting begins at 7. We will have more details on both meetings tonight on the CBS3 News at 10. A huge group of protesters gathered today for what organizers called the largest rally against the Line 3 replacement project yet. About 2,000 people with environmental and tribal groups set up a blockade at the entrance to an Enbridge Energy pump station near Park Rapids. Dozens reportedly chained themselves to construction equipment. Enbridge also told us they had to evacuate 44 workers in that area. Today's protest comes as Enbridge gears up for a final construction push on its pipeline, which carries crude oil from Canada to Superior. Opponents claim the pipeline could harm the environment where Native Americans gather wild rice, hunt, fish, and claim treaty rights. Actress and activist Jane Fonda was among the protesters today. She says they will keep calling on President Joe Biden to halt construction.
We have to raise a ruckus and make it as difficult as possible for Enbridge Line 3 at every single river crossing.
The state gave Enbridge the final go-ahead for the replacement project back in December after years of regulatory review. They got to work right away and now are about 60% finished with the Minnesota section. Today, Enbridge leaders told us worker and surrounding community safety is their top priority.
We have thousands of Minnesotans who support this project, and thousands of Minnesotans who are working and benefiting from this opportunity, particularly at a time where, COVID hit northern Minnesota's economy really hard.
Both sides are also waiting for a major ruling from the Minnesota Court of Appeals later this month. We'll continue following this story and bring you updates as they come in. And in Wisconsin, the governor is vying to hold on to the state's top seat. Governor Tony Evers announced his bid for a second term in the battleground state. Evers currently stands as a lame duck, meaning he's a Democrat with a Republican-controlled state legislature. Evers said he decided to run again because he has unfinished business. The first 2.5 years of his term have been marked by clashes with the GOP-led legislature. Several Republicans are considering running against him. The governor's seat will be on the ballot in November of 2022. The FDA has approved the first new drug for Alzheimer's disease in nearly 20 years. Some are hailing it a victory for people with the disease and their families, but critics question if there was enough evidence to approve the drug. Famie Redwood has the latest.
This is a new type of treatment for Alzheimer's disease. Biogen's aducanumab is given by infusion every 4 weeks, and researchers say it targets the disease in a way that's never been done before. The Alzheimer's Association calls the FDA's approval historic for patients and their families.
It treats the underlying course of the disease. Amyloid is the sticky plaque that clogs up the brain. By removing that, it is assumed that the individual will have clinical benefit and improvements in cognitive decline.
6 million Americans are currently living with Alzheimer's disease in the U.S. Until now, other Alzheimer's drugs only manage symptoms.
This treatment ushers in a new era in Alzheimer's treatments. And we know that a first-in-class drug invigorates the treatment pipeline overall.
The decision to approve the drug comes despite objections from the FDA's independent panel of neurological experts. The Food and Drug Administration is not required to follow their advice. Dr. Caleb Alexander is an FDA advisor who recommended against the drug's approval.
I think the jury is still out on whether it works, and there's a clear standard that manufacturers have to meet in order to gain market access. And in this instance, I think that the evidence is still quite murky as to the safety and especially the effectiveness of this product.
The FDA is requiring the drug maker to conduct a follow-up study to confirm benefits for patients. The FDA could pull the drug from the market if the study fails to show effectiveness. Famie Redwood, CBS News, New York.
Some of the side effects with the drug include headaches, confusion, trouble walking, and falls. Dr. Alexander points out those are also symptoms of progressive Alzheimer's disease, so that could pose a challenge for doctors and caregivers to figure out if a patient is experiencing them from the drug or from the disease. Dave is here for a first check of our weather. Dave, we both survived those very, very hot temperatures this weekend.
Yeah, if just barely. My wife does not believe in weather delays, so I mowed the lawn anyway and got through, thanks in part to low relative humidities. That made the temperatures that were pretty toasty a little more tolerable for those of us who may not like it that hot. But of course, those low relative humidities are leading to fire troubles. Through this evening until at least sunset, near critical fire danger for Minnesota. Please don't burn anything outdoors. The fire risk right now is moderate in Wisconsin and high in the Upper Peninsula, and more than high, of course, than for Minnesotans. As always, the solution remains rain, and there is a chance for some rain in northern Minnesota tonight. There's a low-pressure system that'll be rumbling along the Canadian border, and that brings a 30 to 50% chance for showers and even potentially strong thunderstorms from International Falls to Bike and Crane Lake to Ely, Isabella, and towards Grand Portage and Grand Marais, so we'll have to watch out for that. Short-term forecast says low temps will be near 60 tonight, and by the lake tomorrow, 80 degrees for the top temp, but still could go towards 90 inland. We'll talk about how long this warm spell will last coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a free summer meal program kicked off today. More on times and locations as we take you around the Northland after the break.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. Weeknights on CBS.
Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
How do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
How do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water.
MediaCom is winning awards across the U.S., keeping you connected, keeping you safe, rising to the challenge, challenging the limits. Thanks to our award-winning employees, never settling, never backing down, always planning ahead, and always getting better. MediaCom is proud to be named 2021 U.S. Best Managed Company by Deloitte and the Wall Street Journal.
Been waiting to book a trip to Wisconsin Dells? It's time. It's time for family. It's time for fun. Hit the road. You'll be here in no time. Big attractions? Big time. Tasty food? Dinner time. Giant water parks? We put our swimsuits on one leg at a time. Make it a good trip. Make it a great trip. Make it the trip of a lifetime. Ooh, I'm just about out of time. Well, it does fly when you're having fun. Wisconsin Dells, it's time. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
When you need fast cash, you need someone you can trust. At LoanMax, we're here for you every step of the way. You can have cash in hand in 15 minutes or less. All you need is a clean and clear car title and photo ID. Good credit or bad credit? Don't worry. It's no hassle, no stress. It's that easy. Take charge of your life today with LoanMax. Give us a call at 877-511-CASH.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Virginia, Minnesota tonight. After much of the state felt summer's first heat wave over the weekend, is a cool down coming? Dave will be in with this week's forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's take a look around the region. A local farmers market starts their season this week and a free fishing event for your Friday. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start in Chisholm tonight, where the United Way of Northeastern Minnesota is kicking off their summer meal program. Called Meet Up and Chow Down, the program provides free grab-and-go lunches for those ages 1 to 18 at 9 different locations across the Iron Range. The lunches run from 12 to 1 Monday through Thursday. The meals started today and will run until September 2nd. In 2020, the program provided more than 8,000 meals to local youth. Next, we head to Virginia, Minnesota, where coming up this Thursday, a local market is opening for the summer season. The Virginia Market Square is open from 2:30 to 6 starting this Thursday and will run through October. All vendors at the market must make or grow their goods within 50 miles of Virginia to promote supporting and shopping local. This will be their 6th summer. And we wrap up tonight in Ashland with a fun event for your Friday. The Great Lakes Visitor Center is hosting their 21st annual Kids Fishing Day from 9 to 1. At this free event, youth anglers are invited to learn more about fishing and test out their skills. Families will be given an event map upon arrival showing them the outline of different stations. Registration is required, and we will have a link to that on our website. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, a new program here in the Northland will give beginners access to getting out on Lake Superior. More on that in just a few minutes.
Today's normal high temp is 70, and Duluth International pushed it to 84, which is within 4 degrees of the record from way back in 1894, 88 degrees. Well, the gist of the forecast for the week ahead means a little bit more moderate right by the lake, but still fairly toasty farther inland. Any rain chances in between? There's one tonight. We'll talk about it right after our break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
crafted for every lifestyle. Making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at DuluthPack.com.
If you have been financially affected by the COVID pandemic, then this message is for you. Are you among the many folks who have lost their jobs, or if you've been furloughed or working from home at a reduced pay? If you have credit card debt and cannot make your monthly payments, we at Debt Fix Pros can help. Call us to see how we can reduce your interest rates and lower your monthly payments. If you are struggling with credit card debt, we can help. Call 1-800-804-9036 now to get out of debt.
Now's the time to make your front lawn feel more like a welcome mat. The Z200 is built to cut like a pro, to cut quickly, to turn on a dime, to control with effortless precision. Kubota quality, affordable price. The Kubota Z200. Right now, get the Kubota Z200 mower for 0 down and 0% APR for 48 months or save $200.
No one serves you better than Bullet Implement.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app.
Get your Bennington pontoon at RJ Sport and Cycle.
Coming up tonight, how proposed legislation could change Minnesota liquor laws.
It's an early get-up that's well worth it. How you can learn more about Sunrise Paddleboard Tours.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3. CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Economy Garages. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
It was pretty warm over the weekend. On Saturday, though, in Duluth, once it got really hot, then the wind shifted and cooler by the lake took over and it felt pretty nice. You know, a similar form of that may continue for the next couple of days here, where it is a little bit cooler by the lake, but still fairly toasty inland. Talking about today's toast, Big Fork made 88, 85 International Falls, 88 for Moose Lake, 87 towards Hayward, and even 88 degrees in Watersmeet, compared with 82 Silver Bay, 84 in Superior, 81 on Park Point. Yeah, temperature trends like that will continue for a couple of days. A little more tolerable by the lake if you're not a hot weather fan, and fairly warm farther inland. And if you are a warm weather fan, then it'll be just what you're looking for. Current conditions at the airport in Duluth, it's still 85 there right now. And there's the low relative humidity reading of 36%. So with low dew points, low relative humidity readings, you know, it hasn't been as oppressive as some folks might have feared. Actually felt pretty nice for a couple of folks, too, from what I've been hearing. Wind for the moment is calm, but if it picks up, at least for Minnesotans over the next day, it should be more easterly than anything else. It might be more southerly, though, towards Wisconsin. Air pressure currently is at 29.81 inches of mercury, and that reading should go down as a low-pressure system tries to rumble through the area tonight. High temps, current temps, 85 to 89 Upper Peninsula, 79 to 87 northwestern Wisconsin, and as cool as 70 right by the lake in Grand Marais, but as warm as 87 for Evelyn and the Quad Cities, 85 right now International Falls. Low temps tonight likely will fall into the 60s for most places. Now let's talk about the satellite map here, which shows higher pressure keeping us dry right now. That's at the surface. Working up and over this dome of higher pressure tonight will be this upper level trough of lower pressure, which will be bringing a 30 to 50% chance for showers and storms. More likely 50% along the Canadian border, as we mentioned, from International Falls towards Grand Marais. Some thunderstorms overnight tonight, after midnight tonight, could get a bit on the vigorous side, and there's a chance they'll become severe. It's a 30% chance for spillover for the rest of us, and if it spills over and touches our area, I don't think it'll touch us too much in the way of rain accumulations. Around 1/10 of an inch up north for a lot of towns, maybe a 1/2 inch towards Grand Marais, and close to zero to only a trace then for the rest of us. But there are other rain chances coming this week. Tonight in Minnesota, increasing clouds setting us up for that after midnight rain chance. Low temps upper 50s to lower 60s. Wisconsin and Michigan low temps could go from 58 in Superior to as warm as 65 down towards Hayward and Cable, and even 66 from Bessemer on down towards Watersmeet. And again, folks, there get increasing clouds, setting things up for a 30% storm chance tomorrow, with lakeside temperatures 79 to 84 in Wisconsin and the UP, but as warm as 90 towards Trego, Hayward, and Cable. Minnesota, rain chance about 40% overnight and through the morning till early afternoon. 70s by the lake tomorrow, but close to 90 farther inland. And that's a similar trend that'll be with us as we wobble through the week ahead here, at least by the Twin Ports. 75 to 80 for the high temps, maybe 80, 85 inland. 50s for the lows by the lakes, lower 60s inland. And Kristen, if tonight's rain chance doesn't share its rainy wealth with too many towns, another shot comes Thursday and Friday. And those 2 days, the models indicate perhaps a quarter of an inch, which is the bare minimum to put a dent in the fire danger. So hopefully we do get it.
I hope so. And you know what's weird? I think after this past weekend, 75 degrees might feel a little chilly.
Yeah, I think it just might as well, Kristen. And to a lot of our people, as I say every time, if you can't wear a light jacket, it's too warm.
I agree. Thanks, Dave. There is no shortage of recreational activities in the Northland, but for some, it's hard to know how to get started. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo shares about a new outdoor opportunity on Lake Superior, taking advantage of a busy post-pandemic tourist market.
Zenith Adventure is a new company, and they're getting ready to launch Sunrise Paddleboard Tours, a way to connect tourists and locals to the Northland. Paddleboard guides are gearing up to lead tours throughout the Duluth Harbor this summer. They'll teach guests how to use the stand-up paddleboards and explore the lake. A new outdoor excursion opportunity just in time for a busy tourism season in Duluth. Despite the early wake-up call, adventure specialist Sarah Poole says group tours are great for accountability.
A lot of people want to do sunrise tours, but they can't quite wake up at 4 a.m. So I think in a group mentality, it gives you accountability to be able to show up and just be a part of something. And that's why we're really excited to offer the sunrise tours.
For the sunrise tours, safety is always top of mind. Guests are taught how to properly wear their life jackets and respect boats coming in and out of the canal. Sunrise Paddleboard Tours will officially launch starting July 2nd.
Looks like fun. Thanks, Kendall. While guided tours don't start until July, they're offering paddleboard rentals right now. We have more information at CBS3Duluth.com. It's that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets. And today's pet comes to us from Northwoods Humane Society in Hayward, Wisconsin. This is Hogan. He is about a year old, full of life and very friendly. He adores people, but our friends at the shelter think he may prefer to be the only cat in the house. They also assure us if you meet him, you will fall in love. If you'd like to set up an appointment to adopt Hogan, then you can call the number on your screen. Still to come, the United States Southwest is facing a severe drought. How this could impact millions of homes coming up after the break.
Would you like to lose a pound of fat a day?
You have to weigh yourself every morning, and when you just see the pound go off every morning, it just keeps you going.
Step on the scale and you see the weight that you lost, and you're like, oh, this is so easy. Why didn't I do this before?
Order online or call today for a free consultation.
Lake Superior College is nationally recognized for quality and affordability, offering over 90 programs, including career, technical, and general studies for transfer. At LSC, you can start here, save thousands. Apply for free at lsc.edu.
Are you interested in working in the construction industry? Hi, I'm Jamie Bird, owner and general manager of Economy Garages USA. This spring, we'll be hiring building, concrete, and excavation crew members to add to our growing company. These full-time positions include health, dental, and life insurance, along with an IRA, on-the-job training, and many other benefits. Visit economygarages.com and check out our employment page for more details.
Are your cupboards a cookware disaster? We'll try Gotham Steel's Stackmaster, the all-new non-stick space-saving cookware that neatly stacks inside itself. Finally, you can have an organized kitchen with every pan and lid right at your fingertips. The solid metal stacking plates allow the entire set to fit together without scratching. Stackmaster pans are non-stick and durable, plus they're even oven-safe up to 500 degrees. So bake warm, cheesy bread or make your favorite oven pot roast. Even flames won't damage these pans. Get the full 10-piece Stackmaster cookware set for just 4 payments of $39.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. Plus, order now and get the free steamer basket that stacks perfectly with the rest of the set, and the free stainless steel fry basket that folds up to fit right inside the pot. But wait, we'll also send you this 5-piece utensil set absolutely free. You'll get everything you see here. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-461-2657 or go to GothamStackmaster.com.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-379-1590. That's 1-800-379-1590 or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
I never thought that you could lose weight without working out, but this is one of those programs that you don't have to work out.
In the first 40 days, I lost 28 pounds.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. Weeknights on CBS.
A punishing drought is gripping much of the western U.S., and scientists are calling it a mega drought brought on by climate change. It's taken a dramatic toll on the Colorado River system that provides water to 40 million people in 7 states. Authorities say Lake Mead, the lake the Hoover Dam has relied on for more than 80 years, is on track to hit its lowest ever recorded levels. The lake is at just 37% of its capacity and hasn't been full since the year 2000, when the water came right up to the top of Hoover Dam. But now it sits 130 feet below. For the first time ever, the federal government is expected to declare a water shortage on the lower Colorado River later this summer.
This landscape screams problems to me. I mean, just look at the bathtub rings. To me, that is an enormous wake-up call.
If declared, the water shortage will force automatic cuts to the water supply for Nevada and Arizona starting next year. And here in Minnesota, experts say we aren't facing a drought, but other climate change factors are impacting our lakes. The DNR regularly measures dissolved oxygen levels in lakes, which on the whole are steadily declining. A University of Minnesota-driven study that spanned about 400 lakes around the world going back to the 1940s, including 84 Minnesota lakes, found that lakes are getting warmer, which lowers oxygen levels, which hurts fish habitats, biodiversity, and increases greenhouse gas emissions. Tonight at 10, we'll hear more about the study and what researchers say could help slow the effects.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, tens of millions of Americans under threat of record-smashing heat. The 3rd straight day of the deadly weather. The danger tonight. Plus, the FDA greenlights a groundbreaking new drug to fight Alzheimer's. How it works, but why critics call it false hope. And raising the bar, Simone Biles reaches new heights. How she landed in the history books ahead of the Olympics. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
At Home Furniture, we offer the best quality, value, and selection in fine furnishings. Enjoy classic styles in our Fine Furniture Gallery, the contemporary urban look of Uptown, handmade quality from Amish craftsmen, or the up-north comfort of Lodge Furniture. For your lifestyle, there's no place like home.
Invasive species are organisms that are non-native to an ecosystem. They outcompete native species and reduce the quality of our resources. We can all prevent the spread by following the simple clean, drain, and dry steps. Clean all watercraft, trailers, and outdoor equipment. Drain all water from boat live wells, motors, ballast tanks, and bilges. And lastly, thoroughly dry all equipment and gear. Do your part to preserve our amazing outdoor heritage for future generations.
I'm Carrie Harris, owner of Diabetic and Comfort Shoes. We have been in business in the Northland, helping you with your everyday foot problems stemming from diabetes to plantar fasciitis for the past 17 years. Stop in and see the complete line of men's and women's shoes, from SAS to Allegria to Vionic, for those millions of people battling plantar fasciitis. And we still have a great selection of comfortable shoes for diabetics, Medicare and Minnesota healthcare approved. Remember, no foot problem is too big or too small. We'll find the way to your soul.
Little child, We're in a
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app.
At Home Sleep Express, you can test and buy a famous purple mattress now with no money down, 6-year special financing plus free delivery, setup, and a 120-day guarantee. Sleep cooler and more comfortably on the famous purple mattress at Home Sleep Express.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for $1 suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Monday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up tonight at 6. Tonight at 5, we heard from local representatives who are pushing for change on Minnesota liquor laws, ones that would allow the craft brewing industry more freedom and options for how and when they can sell their products. And tonight at 6, a new partnership between a local business and charity aims to help veterans right here in the Twin Ports. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you at 6.